prevail. Yes, indeed, for horse racing, 2016 was a year of abundance. The NTRA welcomes you to the 46th Annual Eclipse Awards, presented by Daily Racing Form, the Breeders' Cup, and the Stronach Group. Live from Sport of Things Theater at beautiful Gulfstream Park, Racing and Casino, and Hallandale Beach, Florida. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome from ESPN, your host for the evening, Janine Edwards.
Hello, hello again. You know, it's not very often I begin this evening's festivities having such a tough act to follow. $82,000 for Thoroughbred Aftercare. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Thank you. I literally had tears in my eyes backstage listening to that. What a wonderful, wonderful way to kick off this evening. And welcome once again. I'm so delighted to be back. And gosh, what a great turnout we have tonight. I haven't seen a turnout like this in Florida since November 8th, really. And it's been quite a season. And you know, now the only person under more pressure to perform than Donald Trump's hairstylist is American Pharoah. It's hard to believe that it has been a whole year since we stood here reveling in American Pharoah and everything that he did, everything that he was, everything that he brought to the sport. It really was a celebration last year. And this year it is a celebration again because racing picked up right where it left off with so many stars and great performances. But we would be remiss if we didn't take a quick look back and check on Pharoah and see what he's doing now. Because here he is at Coolmore, he's living large. I don't know if he knows quite how large he's living, but he's been busy, covered 208 mares last year. And his first foals are on the ground. How about that? We start with this little guy. First foal is a colt born January 3rd, Brookdale Farm. The mare is Kakadu. And then the next one was a filly. Look at that face. Out of Global Gold at Hillandale Farm. And then the next one to come along was at Coolmore, another filly. There she is, that was last week, and that's out of the mare, Untouched Talent. So good luck to all of them, and so exciting to see these little ones on the ground. Awesome. But while Pharoah conquered the crown and left us with so many memories, there were many extraordinary moments from stars that ably filled the void last year. And we'll start with two that were unfortunately had to meet one another in the Breeders' Cup Distaff. And here they are, the unbeaten Songbird and of course the three-time champion Beholder. And then there was last year's Breeders' Cup filly and mare turf winner, Tepin. She conquered the world at Royal Ascot. And she left her rivals thinking, is she ever gonna retire? But hats off to her connections for not listening. And then of course there was Lady Eli. Wow, what a story. I mean, yeah, defying the odds and overcoming a near fatal bout with laminitis. There she is winning the Flower Bowl and then of course losing by just a nose bob in the Breeders' Cup. A fascinating, heartwarming story and a masterful job by her connections, and they are to be commended. And also another, that's right, just as heartwarming and another masterful job is that of Art Sherman and California Chrome. The Chromies had to wait 10 long months to see their superstar back in action, but then, boy, he left us with one breathtaking moment after another, like this in the Dubai World Cup. He won 7 of his 8 races last year. The only race he lost was to this fresh face, the Breeders' Cup Classic. Wow, a duel for the ages. So as you can see, there was more than a few spectacular moments in 2016 and so much to celebrate and so many great performers that came back to race again. So there really is an abundance. Next week, of course, California Chrome gets a rematch with Arrogate in the inaugural $12 million Pegasus World Cup. That is going to be something. NBC Sports will televise. I will be here to cover for ESPN, for SportsCenter, and we will see California Chrome closing in on $12 million in earnings. I don't know, I never thought I would see that figure in my lifetime, but if he can pull it off, it would truly be remarkable. All right, well, I want to give you just another brief reminder before we get things kicked off here. Please keep your comments short because we've got a couple of times that we need to hit. We're going to be joined by NBCSports.com at 10 p.m. sharp, and then we're going to hit post time for the after party, more importantly, at Frankie's Sports Bar in the Village. That's presented by Keeneland Association. That's at 10:30, so we've got to get things wrapped up by then. So all the memories are in the bank, all the votes have been counted. I don't think the Russians have meddled in anything. And we're ready to get this going. So without further ado, I would like to welcome a gentleman who has been my partner in crime here every year that I've hosted for the 6th straight year. Please give a warm welcome to the President and CEO of Keeneland Association, Bill Thomason.
Thank you, Janine. And thank you, everybody. We know this night's about our athletes, our horses, but I look around the room and I see all of you, the owners, and there's a little competition in the room as well. And when I walked in, I happened to see the distaff, which was on the screen, and Wayne Hughes is walking down, got this big smile on his face, and Rick Porter standing behind him, shaking his head. Don't give up, Rick. I think you're wearing him down. It was close as we saw it. Congratulations, everybody who's here tonight. This is it's a very special night that we get to recognize so many of our great athletes, our owners, our jockeys, our trainers. We're especially proud of our 18 Keeneland graduates and horses that have been associated with us over the year. Everything that we do at Keeneland is for the industry and for the growth of this industry. For all of you tonight, we want to say a special thanks to you for being a part of that mission. We appreciate it, and we promise you we are going to continue to do everything that we can do to grow and make this very special sport that we're all blessed to be a part of as good as it can possibly be. And we very much appreciate your part in all that. So with it, we've got a schedule to get on tonight. I've been lectured out back, so we're going to get going. So with that, here are the nominees for Female Sprinter.
City cruises to the front under Kent DeSormo.
But here comes Have You Gone Away? And it is Have You Gone Away? Have You Gone Away has won! Paula's Silver Lining and the Gallant Blue.
Paula's Silver Lining wins the vagrancy.
And our first award of the night, Female Sprinter, Finest City.
Accepting the Eclipse Award for Finest City is Eric Kruljack, father of trainer Ian Kruljack. In her 4-year-old campaign of 2016, Finest City started 8 times at various distances, but made it count in the sprints where she won the Grade 2 Great Lady M Stakes at Los Alamitos and the $1 million Breeders' Cup Filly and Mare Sprint at Santa Anita under Mike Smith. She also finished second in 2 Grade 2s, the Santa Monica back in January, and third to Beholder and Stellar Wind in the Grade 1 Vanity in June. Finest City is the Pennsylvania-bred daughter of City Zip, out of Be Envied by Lemon Drop Kid. She was bred by HNR Nothaft Horse Racing.
First of all, I want to thank John Sheriffs for taking my son Ian in when Ian was struggling through his last year at the U of A. Couldn't pass chemistry. Anyway, Ian spent 5 or 6 months in John's barn and just kind of picked up his dauber, and all of a sudden he's waking up at 3:30 every morning, and he hasn't stopped since. And I really want to thank the finest family in San Diego County, the Seltzers, for the business that they've given me for the last 14 or 15 years, and especially for agreeing to transfer Finest City from my name into Ian's, because he was doing all the work. Tyler Seltzer said, right on. We were waiting for you to ask us that, Eric. So Anyway, we're all very fortunate. When we get a great horse, they make us look good, you know. And she's the one I want to thank the most. Anyway, thanks again.
And now the nominees for a male sprinter.
AP Indian, these two. Photo for the win.
AP Indian is coming home to victory again in the fourgo. Trey Fong rolls home in the King's Bishop. Trey Fong, the sprint champion.
Lord Nelson lunged to win the Triple Bend by a neck. Lord Nelson, charting a course to the Breeders' Cup, has won by 2.5 lengths.
And for the male sprinter, Trey Fong.
Accepting the Male Sprinter Eclipse Award on behalf of Lisa Trey Fong are his owners, Susan and Charlie Chu of the Bayoma Corporation. Trey Fong went undefeated in 4 starts during his 3-year-old season under the guidance of Hall of Fame trainer Bob Baffert. A base son of Gio Ponte out of the Ghost Zapper mare El Tomas, Trey Fong followed up 2 allowance wins with powerful back-to-back victories in the King's Bishop at Saratoga, and 9 weeks later in the Twin Spires Breeders' Cup Sprint. He won that race by a length and 3/4 under Martin Garcia. Trey Fong was bred in Kentucky by Frederick Allen, Michael Barnett, and Anthony Warrender.
I'd like to say how very honored I'm to be here today. I'm Susan Chu, and this is Charlie Chu, my husband, Trey Fong, the biggest fan, and this is our future Grand Prix rider, Jerry Chu, and our partner, Sue and Donato. Our family involved in the horse, in the world of the horse and the riding for many years. Our work and then our dream blazing to us from Super 99 and the Chi-2, both they are at the start. Of course, we are here today because Trey Fong, honestly, we really starting from nothing. But thanks, we have an incredible trainer, Bob Baffert, and then Baffert, a wonderful team, and our gift agent, Donato Lenny, and our amazing jockey, Martin Garcia and Mike Smith. We just have experienced such a wonderful victory, and we are so very grateful. And that is all about them. Racing is in our family life. Our horse is part of our family. When my husband, Charlie, he traveled all over the world for his business, and when any chance, he goes to see our horse. If he cannot take any particular race, and then he definitely watch in the television. The racing isn't just a business for us. This horse is so much more, and then they are deeply loved and cared for. My family and my children, we talk to our horse by Mandarin and English, so they are bilingual. I have been told if you are a really hard worker and then you really love the animal and always put them in the first, you will have a good thing coming. And it is really a very true for us. And we are really want to give it back to this industry, which really has been given us so much. We are very thank you so much for today's wonderful honor. Thank you.
Okay. Want to give a quick shout out to our sponsors this evening, as we always do, because without them, tonight and these awards would not be happening. So please give a real heartfelt thank you to Daily Racing Form, Breeders' Cup Limited, the Stronach Group, and the NTRA. Thank you all. And I have to mention, week-long festivities as part of Eclipse Award Week. And we saw a tidbit of that to open tonight, but the generosity of all of you and of racing fans have donated tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars to our charities, the Permanently Disabled Jockeys Fund. These jockeys, they are permanently critically ill. Many of them will need care for the rest of their lives. And of course, the Thoroughbred Aftercare Alliance, an industry initiative. They have placed more than 5,000 horses in new homes and new careers. So thank you, and thank you to Lux Air. Gosh, $82,000. Thank you so much. And I'd also like to give a quick shout out to the man behind the curtain, Pete Aiello, the new track announcer here at Gulfstream Park. He is the voice of our video clips and our voice of God here tonight. So great work so far, Peter, and welcome to the Eclipse Awards. Okay, it's time now for the NTRA Moment of the Year. It's something that's been handed out for 17 years now, and it's the only Eclipse Award that is decided by the fans. They've honored indelible scenes like a Fleet Alex's sensational Preakness and Zenyatta defeating the males in the Breeders' Cup Classic, and of course, American Pharoah becoming the first Triple Crown winner in 36 years. Well, there was another memorable moment in 2016 that touched the hearts of racing fans around the world, and that is our Moment of the Year.
While the Eclipse Awards recognize entire campaigns, the NTRA Moment of the Year celebrates a singular, indelible memory burned into our collective consciousness. More than 2,000 fans voted and selected California Chrome's win in the 2016 Dubai World Cup as the 2016 NTRA Moment of the Year.
California Chrome in front. It's alchemy in Dubai. Chrome turns to gold.
Even as Victor Espinosa's saddle slipped out from under him, Chrome was focused and professional while winning what was then the world's richest race by 5 lengths and setting a new North American record for career earnings.
And I'm joined now by trainer Art Sherman. Art, what did it mean to you and the Chrome team when you heard that you were getting Moment of the Year?
I couldn't be more excited. You know, we've had such a great time with Chrome. It's getting near the finale, and you know, it's kind of sad when you have a horse like this for 3 years and did what we did. And we have a great crew, and my son and Dahaji and Raul the groom. We couldn't do it without them. You know, they were my backbone. And I want to thank all my owners. It's been once-in-a-lifetime horse, and I'll tell you, it's been a hell of a ride. Thank you.
One more quick question, because we know that he had a big workout this morning in preparation for the Pegasus World Cup next week. What did you see from him this morning, and you know, what's the vibe that he's telling you? Does he know that it's his last race?
I don't think so, but I'll tell you one thing. He's just awesome right now, and I watched him work today, and I said, give me one more year, please.
Thank you, Art. Thank you. Congratulations. Thank you, Art. Wow. There's a lot of special moments from that horse. All right, now we're going to honor some people that are very, very important in any sport, really. It's always a love-hate relationship between sports figures and the media that cover them. Trust me, I know, covering football and basketball, you see the little dance you have to do with the coaches and the athletes and trying not to push too far, but get what you need. No sport, though, gives the access or has the warm people and the stories that touch your heart like horse racing does. And no group of media does a better job illuminating, revealing, and engaging the masses the way the media people do that cover this sport. So with that note, I would like to introduce the new president of the National Turf Writers and Broadcasters Association. That's Alicia Wintz Hughes.
On behalf of the National Turf Writers and Broadcasters Association, I first and foremost want to say what a privilege it is to be part of this ceremony and to be able to tell the wonderful stories of this sport. One thing that all of us in this room have in common is that we're all here because of an opportunity, be it the chance to keep a horse in training who might have otherwise gone to the breeding shed, getting on a certain mount, or even choosing a particular mating. Those of us who cover the sport know all too well just how precious opportunity is, as our numbers have taken a hit in recent years. But the thing about opportunity is it's not how often it presents itself, but what you do with the fortunes that are presented. And as our Media Eclipse Award winners all demonstrate, this industry is still filled with talented, capable individuals who know how to capitalize on what is in front of them and turn it into work that resonates. And with that, now let's take a look at our Media Eclipse Award winners.
There are 6 awards honoring outstanding achievement in media coverage for thoroughbred racing in 2016. NBC Sports earned the Eclipse Award for live racing programming for its primetime broadcast of the Breeders' Cup Classic at Santa Anita Park, featuring the spectacular finish between Arrogate and California Chrome. ESPN won the Television Feature Award for Barnyard Buddies, a curious look at stable companions for racehorses, which was televised on its news magazine program, E60. Daily Racing Form examined the longevity of Hall of Fame jockeys Gary Stevens, Mike Smith, and Alex Solis in Time Bandits, which won the Audio Multimedia Internet Award. The piece was created and written by Jay Hovde, with photography by Barbara Livingston and videography by Molly McGill. Natalie Voss has won the award for writing in the News and Enterprise category for her article on jockey concussions. The piece appeared in the Pollock Report. John Scheinman is the recipient of the Eclipse Award for feature commentary writing for his profile on longtime Washington Post columnist and horse player Andy Beyer, which also appeared in the Pollock Report. And Todd Marks wins the Eclipse Award for photography taken at the George and John Sloan Hurdle last May at the Iroquois Steeplechase meet in Nashville, Tennessee, which appeared in the Chronicle of the Horse Untagged.
Great job, Alicia. Thank you. And these are our Media Award winners. So I'm going to start with Peter Rotundo, who is accepting on behalf of NBC Sports. And Peter, you have been working with NBC now since 2012, since they took over televising horse racing. How have you seen their broadcast sort of evolve, and along with it, their group's passion for the sport?
Yeah, the passion is unsurmountable. I mean, it keeps growing and growing every year. They keep adding more races every year. This year they're going to be at Royal Ascot, and they keep expanding. They have a passion for it from the family. Rob Hyland married into horse racing. He's the executive producer. Billy Matthews was our producer on the Breeders' Cup Classic, prime time television Saturday night. So it's been great working with them, from Gary Quinn, John Miller, all the way to my man Billy.
And with your help, of course. So congratulations to them. I'm a job well done, always, every year. Jay Hovde, Daily Racing Form. Congratulations to you all. Molly McGill, Barbara Livingston. Jay, you've won 4 Eclipse Awards for writing, but what were your goals and the challenges in taking the lead on this multimedia project?
Well, the inspiration actually came from a line from a song from my favorite songwriter, John Stewart, who wrote, "No one's getting any younger, but a few aren't getting old." And shortly after that, I saw the images of Mike Smith on Songbird and Gary Stevens on Beholder, and kind of put the two together, and sometimes it's just that simple. But in the end, the piece was really a tribute to the dedicated men and women who make up the athletic component, the human athletic component of our sport, and what they go through, especially the ones that want to fight against time a little bit and cling to those last moments of glory. And I think we got the right guys, because by the end of the year, it was Mike Smith and Gary Stevens in center stage at the Breeders' Cup. But every rider should be as lucky as I was to work with 2 visual artistic talents as these people. Certainly, Barbara, we all know, is nothing less than the Richard Avedon of horse racing. And Molly McGill, you're going to be hearing a lot from. She's going to be up here a lot. She is certainly in the great tradition of Joe Burnham and Kip Hannon and G.D. Hieronymus among videographers in this sport. So I'd like to thank them very much for lighting up the words that I put on the page.
Well, it was a great tribute, and you had a great team. Well done. Thank you, Jay. Molly, I want you guys to know that Molly was our stage girl, our trophy girl, like 5 years ago, and now she's winning an Eclipse Awards. What is this like for you to be up on this stage tonight? Wow, what a journey.
I'm really trying not to cry. Again. I just have to say that there's so many people in this room that have seen me grow up in this industry, and crying.
It's okay, that's what it's all about, you know?
I'm really, really thankful. And you guys have given me my career, and I love horses, I love this industry, I love everyone in here. Just thanks.
Awesome. Molly shot and edited that whole piece, by the way. Great job, Molly. Barbara, so many stunning, eye-catching photos you have taken. What was it about working with these three legends of racing that touched you?
Well, first, I've been photographing all three of them for more than a quarter century, because I'm a little older myself, and I have a little empathy with being older and trying to, you know, stay relevant. And
yeah, don't we all?
Not that Molly's not pointing this out to me. But I mean, it's the greatest honor to photograph, you know, someone who's 3 years old, 5, 10, 50 is unbelievable. And Jay's writing is incredible. How do you not work well with that?
Exactly. Well done. Congratulations. Natalie Voss, terrific, terrific piece on concussions. I mean, just really made you think. What were some of the things that you learned from this piece and about what more needs to be done?
I think I was most surprised to learn that it is possible to have long-term effects from concussions. It's disturbing enough to think of the risks that the jockeys take just on a short-term sort of basis every day when they go out there and ride, but to think that they could go through all of this really just to keep our sport running and then many years later still have problems is certainly concerning.
Well done. Congratulations, and thank you for writing such an important piece. John, you're back. Congratulations again. Let me just slip in here. Great job, your profile of Andy Beyer. What did you take away from spending some time with him and putting this piece together?
Well, I worked with Andy at the Washington Post for 8 years, so I had 8 years to prepare for this story.
You probably needed it, right?
So when it got announced that he was going to receive the Eclipse Award of Merit, and the story had come out, he calls me up and he says, "John, you need to win the Eclipse Award so we can complete the Beyer exacta." And I'm like, oh my God, no pressure there. But darn it, we got it done, so pretty exciting. No, well, in all seriousness, he's a great subject. I mean, he's such a phenomenal contributor to the game on so many different levels. I mean, Andy Beyer is not only a great writer and a great reporter, he backs it up as a player as well. I mean, and plus the figures, I mean, there's so many different facets that he's brought to racing. I'm so proud and thrilled to be up here on the same night that he's going to receive the Eclipse Award of Merit. And when he retired, after 46 years of writing with the Washington Post, and there just was not a lot of noise made, and I said, you know, I'm going to do it. I'm going to write the story. And it was great. I was really proud.
Good for you. Congratulations. Awesome piece. And Todd Marks, I have to say, every summer when the Saratoga Special comes out, I am blown away by your photos. I just love your photos and your creativity. Just, they're beautiful, they're stunning. When you took this Eclipse Award winning photograph, did you know, because I know it's all about timing, did you know that that whip was in the air floating in front of the rider, or did you just happen to see it after the fact?
Well, I'd love to give you the correct response. I had it planned all around. But no, you know, I've been a professional journalist for 40 years, and I've been a photographer for nearly as long. And the reason I love photography is because of the spontaneity. Everybody has an opinion about a story, how they can make it better by editing, interviewing this person or that person. But with photography, the thing I love about it, there's no ambiguity. You get the shot or you don't. There are no do-overs. And in the case like this, I just flipped a coin in my head and did the unconventional. The normal inclination when a horse is going over the last jump is to follow the field. I followed the leader, and lo and behold, serendipitously, Kieran Norris and his whip kind of flew into the frame. And it was just one of those things, and a once in a lifetime moment, but I was honored to get it at that time.
And you were there and you were ready, and as they say, timing is everything. So
In everything in life.
congratulations, great job. Congratulations to all our Media Eclipse Award winners. And Alicia, thank you. Congratulations to you as well. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Matt Giuliano, Executive Vice President and Executive Director of the Jockey Club, and Jason Wilson, President and Chief Operating Officer of Equibase.
The Breeder of the Year recognizes those who have invested the financial and the emotional capital to produce these magnificent athletes that we get to celebrate tonight. And the nominees are
Finalists for the Eclipse Award for Outstanding Breeder underscore that various size of breeding operations can be elite in thoroughbred racing. Clear Sky Farms was fifth among breeders in earnings with $6.6 million. Clear Sky Progeny had 39 wins with 217 starts, led by the spectacular Breeders' Cup Classic and Travers winner Irrigate. He joined the former Keeneland sale topper Mo Heyman and three-time Grade 1 winner Lord Nelson. Sheikh Mohammed's extensive Darley operation is also a finalist. Horses bred in the Darley name won 110 races in North America and earned more than $6.8 million last year. Frosted's spectacular 14-length win and the Grade 1 Metropolitan Handicap was one of many Darley highlights, as was his win in the Grade 1 Whitney. Other major Darley-bred triumphs included the 3 stakes won by Joking and the Yellow Ribbon Handicap victory of She's Not Here. Kenny Trout's Windstar Farm was the leading breeder by money earned with more than $10.5 million earned from over 1,400 starts. Windstar's accumulation of major wins reached a crescendo on Breeders' Cup weekend when Tourist won the Breeders' Cup Mile and New Money Honey won the Juvenile Fillies Turf. Other Grade 1 wins for Windstar included the 4-Star Dave, also won by Tourist, and the La Brea, won by Constellation.
and the Breeder of the Year, Windstar Farm.
Accepting the Eclipse Award for Outstanding Breeder are Kenny and Lisa Trout of Windstar Farm. This is the first Breeders' Eclipse Award for Windstar, which has previously won the Outstanding Owner Award in 2010. Based in Versailles, Kentucky, Windstar Offspring won 238 races in 2016 and made their biggest score in last year's Breeders' Cup with New Money Honey in the Juvenile Fillies Turf and Tourist in the Mile. Windstar's Offspring pushed their total earnings past the $10 million mark just last year.
Well, this is a great honor, and congratulations to all the breeders out there in Clear Sky and Darley. Have a great year. Of all the awards won tonight, I think that the breeder is one of the most collaborative efforts because you have the stallion team, the broodmares, the yearlings, the owners that buy our horses at the sales, the trainers that they give them to. And I do want to thank a few people individually. I brought them down from Lexington, and that's our broodmare manager and his team, Jeff Danford, yearling manager, Donnie Preston and his team, our training division, Richard Budge and his team, maintenance, Jerry Davis and his team, stallions, Larry McGinnis does an awesome job with our stallions and his team. Our vet, Natanya Neiman, has been there from the beginning, and her team. Our CFO, Jack Mullican, and my good friend and general manager, David Hanley. And thank you. One more person, Kenny and Lisa Trout. They have given us the resources to allow us to get up every morning and work hard and make the dream possible. So thank you, Kenny and Lisa.
And now the Eclipse Award for the champion steeplechase horse for 2016. And the nominees are
Stronach has the lead and is flying. Stronach hangs on for the U.S. Oh, but very close.
Here comes Scorpiancer on the outside as Scorpiancer takes the Lonesome Glory.
Top Striker! What a performance here for Top Striker and Ross Garrity.
And the winner is Stronach.
Accepting the Eclipse Award for Ronick, the outstanding steeplechase horse, is Diane Naylor, wife of winning owner Irvin Naylor. Racing as a 9-year-old, Ronick won 3 of his 4 starts in 2016. Trained by Cyril Murphy, Ronick started the year in April with a 15-length romp in the Temple Guelph at Middleburg, Virginia, and followed that with a victory in the Grade 1 Iroquois 3 weeks later in Nashville, Tennessee. Rested over the summer, this bay son of Azamore then won the Grand National at Far Hills in October under veteran reinsman Ruby Walsh. He closed the season with a 2nd-place finish and the Colonel Cup. Ronick was bred in Ireland by Jim Monahan.
I'm honored to accept this award for my husband, Ronach's owner, trainer Cyril Murphy, agent Paul Byrne, jockeys Jack Doyle, who's here, Ruby Walsh, Sean McDermott, and our vet and blacksmith and barn crew. We are honored that our small steeplechase group is recognized at this prestigious event and wish to thank the NTRA, DRF, Frank and Belina Stronach, and the Stronach Group. We also appreciate your slower flat horses, which become good jumpers. Thank you. My husband was injured 17 years ago as an amateur jockey in our Maryland Grand National. His horse fell at the 2nd-to-last fence in his promise to me 2nd-to-last race, and he was 65. Amazingly, becoming a quadriplegic did not reduce his enthusiasm for the sport, only his ability to attend a wonderful event such as this. Thank you.
Congratulations. All right, it's time now to take a look at our first Horse of the Year finalist. You know, the first one took kind of an unconventional route getting here. Not ready for the Triple Crown? No problem. Ship cross country to make your stakes debut in a prestigious Grade 1? Easy. Take on older horses and champions in the Breeders' Cup Classic? Got this. He made the unconventional look easy, and that's why Arrowgate is a Horse of the Year finalist.
In an age division with heavy emphasis on the early months of the year, Arrowgate spotted his field the entire Triple Crown season. He did not make his first start until mid-April, and his stakes debut wasn't until August 27th. If there were some championship hopes for this handsome gray, something big had to happen. And soon. Well, how about a 13-length victory in the Summer Gem at Travers Stakes that included a nice touch of a track record time with a 1 1/4 at Saratoga. Trainer Bob Baffert chose to train Juddmon's Comet up to the Breeders' Cup Classic. A Horse of the Year was in the lineup, and so was an audacious 3-year-old.
Arrowgate still coming. California Chrome. Arrowgate steals the show in the Breeders' Cup Classic. He has defeated California Chrome.
All right, we've got 2 more to go. We'll have them throughout the evening. We also have 2 awards of merit to present tonight, because both of these men have devoted most of their lives immersed in and championing thoroughbred racing. Our first recipient comes from a very different place than most of you here in this room, though, not owning, breeding, or riding racehorses, but a place that supports the game as millions of fans do with his wagering dollars. But this man, a fan, best-selling author, noted columnist, and racing guru, has really become a household name for one little bitty stat that now appears in the past performance line in DRF for every racehorse.
Through his nearly 40 years as the racing columnist for the Washington Post, his ever-popular books on handicapping, and for the creation of speed figures that bear his name, Andrew Beyer became a high-profile and influential voice for the interests of horse players across North America. Andy's first book in 1975, Picking Winners, explained the basics of handicapping to the novice player and became a nationwide bestseller. A significant part of that book was the introduction and explanation of speed figures, assigning a number to a horse's race performance, which became a revolutionary breakthrough method in analyzing a horse's chances for a top performance. The development of the Beyer speed figure and his passionate advocacy for positive change and a high degree of integrity within thoroughbred racing is illustrative of the emphasis Andy placed on serving the fans who support the game with their wagering dollars.
Ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm welcome to our first Award of Merit recipient, Andy Beyer.
Thank you. What that wonderful introduction didn't say was that for a large part of my life in racing, I was considered kind of a crackpot. When I wrote after I wrote Picking Winners in 1975, probably 15 or 20 years passed, and almost everybody in the industry still said, well, class is what counts in racing. Time doesn't mean anything. Time is important only when you're in jail. The recognition of the figures really came from my fellow horse players, people who read the book and got hooked on the game. I mean, one of the most notable was Steve Christ, who started making his own figures and pursued a tremendous career in this business. And over the years, I've met many horse players who have had similar experiences. A couple of years ago, I was in Del Mar doing an autographing session, and a man came up to me who looked as if he was maybe down to his last $2. He was kind of disheveled. His clothes were a little tattered, but he was very gracious. He came up to me and shook my hand and said, "Mr. Beyer, I just want to thank you. Everything I know about handicapping, I've learned from you." I was very touched. The change in the industry's attitude towards speed figures was the product of two forces. One of them was Steve Christ, and the other is the Daily Racing Form, and to them I'm hugely indebted. When Steve started the Racing Times in 1991, he wanted to include speed figures in the past performances. He asked me to do them, and that was our first entree into the public realm with figures. The Racing Times sadly did not have a long life, but when it folded, the Racing Form picked up the figures. And from day one, they have been supportive. They've promoted us. They've advertised us, and in every way have given the figures just great visibility. The most important thing they did was to give us exposure, because the people who were skeptical about speed figures, when they opened the Racing Form PPs, had no choice but to look at them and see the figures, and slowly they began to realize, I think, fast horses beat slow horses a lot of the time. And when horses run blockbuster figures, as say Arrogate and Frosted did in the past year, it's not a fluke. It's something that really marks them as exceptional animals. the making of the figures is anything but a one-person operation. I'm flattered to have my name on them. I'm excited to have this Eclipse Award, but the business itself is a partnership between me and Mark Hopkins, who formed it 25 years ago. Mark is every bit as committed to the figures as I am. We spend the equal amount of time working on them. He's equally adept. And in addition, we've got 5 employees who are who work laboriously making figures and are committed to doing the best possible job. I mean, 2 of them have been with us from the very start, the Racing Times, Dick Girardi and Randy Moss. So this is a team effort. I accept this for them as well, but I'll tell you, there's nothing in my racing life has ever given me the thrill of as this award. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome from TVG, Christina Blacker and Todd Schrupp.
It's a pleasure on behalf of TVG to be here to present a couple of categories. It's always amazing to me to come to the Eclipse Awards as time has gone by. I spent 7 years at Calder Racecourse down here in South Florida from 92 to 99, and now I've been with TVG since its inception in 18 years, and Christina's played an instrumental part in our network as well, and now it's TVG2 as well as TVG. But when I first started at Canterbury, and I'm looking at some of tonight's finalists, and in a couple of categories, they're going to announce Jockey of the Year. And it's amazing that one of those finalists is Mike Smith at the age of 51. When I started in horse racing, I started at Canterbury Downs in Minnesota. And when horse racing first came to Minnesota, they had to assure the locals that everything was going to be, it was not going to affect their neighborhood. It was the right thing to bring in to Shakopee, Minnesota. So one thing that they wanted to make sure is that everyone was documented on the backside. Now, in all the conversations that I had with Mike Smith, I've never confirmed this story with him, but I'm a member of the media, so I'm not going to let it get in the way. So one morning, the federales show up on the backside of Canterbury, and the INS is there, and they're asking for everybody's ideas. They're going barn to barn. Mike Smith had just worked a horse. He was a 20-something, fresh-faced kid out of New Mexico. He just worked a horse. He's walking through the barn area, and one of the INS agents stops him, says, "Do you have your ID?" He's like, "No, I don't have anything on me." "Well, can you tell me what your name is?" He goes, "Mike Smith." "Get on the van." So to see someone like Mike Smith, who now just has to use his face as his recognition, it is quite a night. But we're here for 2 very different categories, and Christina's going to tell us about the first one.
Let's take a look at the nominees now for Outstanding Female Turf Horse.
Here's Lady Eli. Lady Eli has won the Flower Bowl. Lady Eli is back.
Miss Temple City appeared to hang on with the head bob. Here she is, the queen of the turf, Tepin wins.
Nothing like turning the Keeneland lawn into your personal playground. It is all Tepin.
3 remarkable horses, each deserving in any given year, but the winner is Tepin.
In 2016, Tepin won her first 6 races, which included victories in the U.S., Great Britain, and Canada, under the careful eye of trainer Mark Cassey. After capturing the Grade 1 Jenny Wiley at Keeneland and the Grade 2 Distaff Turf Mile, this bay daughter of Bernardini was sent to Royal Ascot, where she came from far back to win the Grade 1 Queen Anne Stakes at Royal Ascot. Rested during the summer, Tepin returned to win the Rico Woodbine Weil in Toronto at Woodbine. She finished second in the First Lady at Keeneland and closed out the season with a second-place finish in the Breeders' Cup Mile. Tepin was bred in Kentucky by Mockmer Hall.
Hey, this is going to be the most colorful speech of the night. Bat Masterson is here. Talk about a Damon Runyon character.
Thank you. What a joy this mare's been. I mean, what the heck? I mean, I think all racing fans like this mare. I mean, she's won in 3 different countries. She's raced at 12 different racetracks. I mean, she's won a graded on the dirt. She broke her maiden on the synthetic. She's won on the fast. She's won on the good. She's won on the soft, and she won on a quagmire in England. So, I mean, she has been something for us. And even in Canada, they interrupted the winner's reception by chanting her name, Tepin, 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 until we had to stop. I mean, it was fantastic. And then finally, after she won at Royal Ascot, there were 30,000 Twitters, and they were saying Tuesday is now Tepin Tuesday. So, I mean, what can you say about her? She's been outstanding. And, you know, the only thing she ever wants in return is a peppermint. So when you guys come by the barn, please bring a peppermint. And I want to say thank you to Mark and Norm Cassie, who've done an outstanding job with her. Outstanding. And to Julian, who's with us tonight, who's ridden her very well every time. I mean, in Royal Ascot, I said, Julian, you've been to England a lot of times. He says, never. I said, you're going to run on the course you've never run in. She has no medication. She's got to run on a straightaway. She's got to go up a hill, and she's got to run in a quagmire, and she's got to beat the British. Good thing. So thank you very much. On behalf of Tepin, thank you very much.
Little known fact, Bat's dad used to host the Tony Awards before it went to a big auditorium. They'd host it in a restaurant there. And we should mention, because I don't know if anyone's going to get a chance to say this, Janine Edwards is phenomenal. Just, I know she works in the same industry. What a phenomenal host. We're fortunate to have her. Before I move to the next category, Christina and I are fortunate enough to be selected to be up here to represent TVG and TVG2, but I did want to mention my colleagues at our table. Kate and Bradar is here, Mike Joyce is here, and many of you have stopped by over the past year and a half. Our colleague Simon Bray was diagnosed with multiple myeloma. So many of you have come up and offered your support. You've gone even further than that, and people still coming by the set and asking how Simon is doing. He is here with us tonight. He has turned it back. He's doing well. Simon, stand up for us. There he is, Simon Bray over in the corner. And obviously, Simon's kept us all up to date behind the scenes about everything he's been going through with his treatments and the rest of it. And I realized it's really given him a new perspective on life when we were all meeting in the courtyard by Marriott to come over, and it's a semi-formal event, and Simon was refusing to go because he had a blue suit. I can see that this life-altering event has changed your perspective on things, Simon. So please, don't make him feel singled out because of his blue suit here tonight instead of the black formal attire. All right, our next category.
He's going to be so mad at you.
Yeah, he said, you do not mention my suit.
He should have been presenting this award, too, the Lord of the Lawn. Let's take a look at the nominees for Outstanding Male Turf Horse.
King George.
And Tourist does it in the 4-star name.
Tourist has defeated Tepin in the Breeders' Cup final.
And the winner is Flintshire.
Accepting the Eclipse Award for Flintshire, the outstanding male turf horse, is Juddmonte Farms U.S. racing manager Garrett O'Rourke. In his 6-year-old season, Flintshire won the Grade 1 Manhattan, the Grade 2 Bowling Green, and the Grade 1 Sword Dancer in succession for trainer Chad Brown. A dark Bear Brown son of Dan Silly, Flintshire finished second in the Turf Classic at Belmont and was also second to Highland Reel in the Longines Breeders' Cup Turf. Flintshire finished 2016 with career earnings of more than $9.5 million. He was ridden in all 5 of his starts by jockey Javier Castellano.
I want to thank you very much, and thank you to the voters and our gracious hosts, the Stronach Group here tonight, and also to the connections of the other nominees. Early in 2016, Prince Khaled made a bold move to raise Flincher in the US as a 6-year-old after he was already a proven Grade 1 horse elsewhere across the globe. And I think the racing public here delighted in being allowed to enjoy his brilliant performances through the summer at Belmont and at Saratoga. He's Juddmonte's all-time leading earner, and he's one of the soundest, classiest and most explosive horses that Prince Khaled has raced. And he'll now stand here in the US, where his genetic qualities should be a great boost to the breed, and we're delighted that he can stay over here for people to avail of his services. I'd like to thank Javier and Chad and his staff for the wonderful job they did in working towards this award. Thank you.
Congratulations, Garrett. And now to present the awards for Apprentice Jockey and Jockey. Joining me on the stage is the Chairman and Chief Executive Officer of the Daily Racing Forum, Mr. John Hardig. John, great to see you. You've got to be so proud with the 2 Awards of Merit winner tonight, both being longtime Daily Racing Forum employees.
Well, they are 40 plus years each. You got about, 80 some odd years of work. Thank you, Janine. It is a nice night for DRF, but I'm really thrilled for the recognition of really 2 icons of thoroughbred racing for their lifetime of outstanding achievement. Steve and Andy, joining the list of who's who of racing legends that includes the late, great jockey Bill Shoemaker, Penny Chinnery, John Gaines, founder of the Breeders' Cup. It's truly noteworthy. Why it's noteworthy, until tonight, the Award of Merit has never been awarded to an individual whose body of work was defined by serving the horse player, being an advocate for the horse player. And we know without the player, there is no game. So tonight we have not 1, but 2 winners, both journalists, both innovators to the game, who've made it their mission in life in their 40-plus year careers being advocates for the betting public. And that is fantastic. So Steve, Chris, and Andy Byer, did they revolutionize the game? And I would say they certainly have. So big congratulations. Thank you. Our job, my job, is to continue grooming the next generation of reporters, columnists, and handicappers, and also creating handicapping tools who can onboard the next generation of players. That is our job. Janine, your job is to get ESPN to promote the hell out of Pegasus next week. In fact, who's coming to Pegasus next week? Let's hear a show of hands. Right? Belinda, Frank, we need everybody here at Pegasus. It's a great news story. So let's turn our attention to the jockeys. We have Stephen Cawthron and Chris McCarron, Kent DeSormo, each won outstanding Apprentice Jockey Awards on their way to the Hall of Fame. And here's a look at future potential of this year's finalists.
2 of the 3 finalists for the Apprentice Eclipse Award are sons of jockeys. Kevin Gomez is the son of Oscar Gomez, leading rider at Finger Lakes in upstate New York. Young Kevin was based in Maryland and ranked 3rd nationally among apprentices with 67 wins prior to becoming a journeyman on October the 22nd. For the year, the native of Guatemala won 85 races and earned almost $2 million. He also won the Claiming Crown Emerald Preview on Music Critic. Lane Luzzy is the son of veteran reinsman Mike Luzzy, who himself won the Eclipse Award for Apprentice Rider in 1989. Lane won 88 races and earned $2.2 million last year. He had 3 stakes victories, including a pair of wins on Diamond Bachelor at Gulfstream Park. Luis Ocasio is the first in his family to become involved in horse racing. After graduating from the jockey school in Puerto Rico, Luis came to the mainland and, based in Pennsylvania for much of the year, led the nation's apprentices in wins with 109 scores and in earnings with $2.8 million.
And the winner for Apprentice Jockey, Luis Ocasio.
Accepting the Eclipse Award for Outstanding Apprentice Jockey is Luis himself. Riding at parks in nearby Bensalem, Pennsylvania, since arriving from his native Puerto Rico, Ocasio led all apprentice riders in the nation in both wins and earnings. The 19-year-old won 106 races and garnered more than $2.8 million in purse earnings.
Thank you. Good evening and congratulations to all the nominees. It's been a pleasure to be part of tonight's Eclipse Award. I want to thank God for blessing me with this honor and keeping me safe out there. I want to thank the NTRA, the Daily Racing Form, and the National Tour Rider and Broadcaster for your vote. I want to thank my family for their sacrifice and trust and for letting me choose this path to become a rider and be part of this sport that we all have come to love and respect. I want to thank all my fellow riders, ballet and racing officials, and would like to take a moment to wish well to all the jockeys that have been injured, and my condolences to the families of the ones we have lost. I want to thank the racing industry and administration in Puerto Rico and all the trainers and owners that have given me a chance to represent the stable out there in many tracks across the Mid-Atlantic. I want to thank my agent, Gerson Rodriguez, as we look forward to keep working hard for our outfit and welcome new business in this new year. And finally, I want to congratulate Lane Lucy and Kevin Gomez on a great year. My best wishes to you and every horseman in 2017. God bless you all and have a great night. Thank you.
Fantastic. So this year's finalists for Outstanding Jockey includes 2 former Eclipse Award winners and a first-time finalist. Here they are.
Jockey category pits one jockey seeking his first Eclipse Award against 2 veterans with multiple Eclipse Awards. Jose Ortiz was the nation's leading rider in wins in 2016 and the leading rider on the New York circuit. He won 50 stakes, including 23 graded events. Along the way, he captured his first riding title at Saratoga and won 4 Grade 1 races, including the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Turf on Oscar Performance and the Joe Hurst Turf Classic aboard Ecto. Javier Castellano has won the last 3 Eclipse Awards, and with the win tonight would match only Jerry Bailey as the second rider to win 4 in a row. Castellano led all jockeys in earnings and won 300 races in 2016 with 9 Grade 1 wins, including Catherine Sophia's impressive victory in the Longines Kentucky Oaks, a double on Flincher, and New Money Honey's win in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies Turf. 23 years after Mike Smith won his first Eclipse Award, he's a finalist for his third. The Hall of Fame jockey had a year of champions and championship contenders. He was aboard the startling development of Arrogate, piloting to wins in the Travers and the Breeders' Cup Classic, and also had 2 other Breeders' Cup wins with Tamarcuz and Finest City. Mike Smith was also the regular rider of another Horse of the Year finalist, Songbird.
Wow, 3 incredible jockeys. The winner is numero 4, Javier.
This is the 4th consecutive Eclipse Award for Outstanding Jockey for Javier Castellano. He joins Jerry Bailey as the only other rider to win the Outstanding Jockey title 4 straight times in the Eclipse Award era. It was another banner year for the 39-year-old Venezuelan star, leading North America in total earnings by more than $26 million and in graded stakes wins with 35. Of Castellano's Grade 1 scores, 9 of them were here this year. He earned 2 aboard Flincher in the Woodford Reserve Manhattan and the Longines Sword Dancer, as well as in the New Money Honey victory in the 14 Hands Winery Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies and on Catherine Sophia in this year's Kentucky Oaks.
Good evening. I would like to introduce my family over here. I'm very proud to support me in my career. And my mom, my wonderful, beautiful wife, Abby, my 3 children, Kayla, Sienna, and Brady. First of all, I would like to say thank God for this award. One more, I really, really appreciate for the opportunity. I would like to thank you to everyone to vote for me tonight the NTRA, Daily Racing Form, and the National Thoroughbred, and Gulfstream Park and Stronach Group for giving the opportunity to be here tonight. This is quite an honor. Congratulations to all the winners this evening as well. My fellow nominee, Jose Ortiz, Maya Smith, who each have a standing year. This award, it means so much to me. I came to the United States from Venezuela in 1997. I was 18-year-old. My idol was Braulio Baeza, Angel Cordero, Pat Day, Jerry Bailey. I spoke no English at all. I had little money. I didn't know anyone personally, but I have a dream, a better future. On that first day, I remember arriving Miami International Airport. I take a taxi to call the race course. It cost me $100. I was shocked. I was nervous. I didn't have if I made wrong decision, but I stuck with my dream. I feel fortunate and blessed to have come so far. I truly love what I do. It is a joy to get to do it every day. Thank you for the honor and the training who had confidence in me, have given me the opportunity to ride the horses. And thank you for the assistant trainer, the groom, the exercise rider, who contribute to my success. I want to spread my gratitude to my agents during my career for the success we have enjoyed. Lastly, thank you to my family once again, Kayla, Sienna, Brady, my mom, she's here tonight, my brother Abel, my wonderful wife. I would like to thank Abel, he's here tonight, my sister Nayeli, and once again, too, I would like to thank Terry Mix, my father-in-law. Thank you, Terry, for all the support you've been doing for my career. And once again, thank you, everyone. Great country. God bless America.
Great job.
Thanks a lot.
Congratulations, Javier. Well done. Okay, our next presenter to present the Eclipse Award for Horseplayer of the Year. She's a first-time starter on the Eclipse Award stage, so go easy on her. But she is no stranger to horse racing. She's been with the Daily Racing Form for over 24 years, and she's now the Vice President of Marketing. Please welcome Mandy Minger.
Thank you, Janine. And huge congratulations to Steve Christ tonight as he receives the Award of Merit as an advocate for the horse player. It was Steve who insisted that a horse player should be honored on this stage annually, along with all the other year-end champions. This year's Horse Player of the Year, Paul Matisse, beat the country's best players to win $800,000. But that's not all. When you check in at Treasure Island, they give you a $100 chip, and he took it right to the window and bet the whole $100 on himself to win it at odds of 100 to 1. He went home with $10,000 extra. Paul's one of the good guys. He truly loves the game. You can find him at the backyard in Saratoga anytime during the summer. Please join me in congratulating Paul Matisse, this year's Handicapper of the Year.
Thank you. It's an honor to be here tonight to accept this award, and it's a special honor to accept it from Mandy. I've been a professional gambler for most of my life, so I haven't had a lot of jobs, but she was my boss at the Racing Times, and she's the only one, my only boss that didn't fire me. So, I want to thank Steve and Chris for creating this award, and it will forever eliminate the stigma to professional gamblers and everyday horse players. And there's a lot of benefits of winning this tournament, the NHC, and this award. But on a lighter side, the thing I noticed the most was after I won that big check, I became a lot more handsome. So, on a more serious note, there's this misnomer in racing circles that horse players don't care about horses, and gamblers just root for numbers. And I just think that's the farthest thing from the truth. And when we look at the horses and gambling right now, there's so many opportunities. You have a choice to play slot machines or anything. And the reason we pick horse racing is because either instinctively or there's a realization that the horse's honesty and their desire to win is what makes the form. And even though it's not something that you have sight of on a daily basis, but just that realization is what is the ultimate respect to me. And lastly, I just want to thank my family, especially my mother and my wife, Stephanie. Being the son, to have a son as a gambler or a husband as a gambler is not the easiest thing to do, so I really appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Gulfstream Park has been such a fabulous host for the Eclipse Awards for 5 years now. They have been so gracious and done such a wonderful job, and another fantastic day of racing here today with Sunshine Millions. And of course, next weekend, I can't wait, the Pegasus World Cup. That's going to be fascinating. I'd like to welcome now, and please give a warm welcome as well, to the president of the Stronach Group and chief operating officer of Gulfstream Park, Tim Ritvo.
Good evening. On behalf of Gulfstream Park and the Stronach Group, I'd like to welcome everybody to a special Eclipse Awards evening. I'd also at this time like to take a minute to thank my truly dedicated staff for the love and the appreciation they show for our great sport. Without them and their hard work, Gulfstream Park would not be what it is today. The Stronach Group is a leader in developing new and innovative ways to bring young families and people back to racing, to our great sport. Gulfstream Park is a complete year-round entertainment facility that puts horse racing first. And we hope to really show that next weekend with our inaugural running of the Pegasus World Cup, the world's richest race. Helping us make that a great event is Belinda Stronach. And I'd like to recognize her tonight for showing the passion and the love for the sport and trying to reinvigorate it in a new way, and supporting her father in all the efforts for the love and passion of the game. Tonight is our 5th year hosting the most prestigious event in racing and promises to be a memorable one. Tonight's event is honoring 2 huge legends in our industry, Mr. Andy Beyer and Mr. Steve Christ, as well as another legend that I'm going to invite up on the stage. The man that has made racing great again, and a person that has a love and passion for the sport like no other. Tonight I'm honored once again to bring up Mr. Frank Stronach to say a few words.
Thank you, Jimmy, for your kind words, and a welcome to all the horse lovers in here. It's always great to be amongst people which like horses. I also like to thank the NDRA and the Racing Forum for the great working relationships we have to put on this show, and we really enjoy to look forward that we can put on those shows many times here in Gulfstream Park. Again, I'm delighted that I have my daughter here today. Belinda, can you stand up, please? And my granddaughter, Nikki, it's great now. Nikki always has been shown, I think she blames me when she was 3 years old. I sat on a pony, and she's been hooked ever since then. And with my daughter, I'm delighted that she shows now great interest. And when we have breakfast or we are together, this is a big responsibility when you own a whole bunch of racetracks. So we're constantly thinking, what can we do to improve the sport, to get a greater fan basis, but most of all, what can we do to make sure that racing will advance, that we have great race places. So anyway, I'm delighted that my kids, my son couldn't be here today, but he also likes horses. So I think there'll be a great future for horse racing, that we can participate and start improving and do our part to make racing great again in America. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Chief Executive Officer and Executive Vice President of the Florida Thoroughbred Breeders and Owners Association, Lonnie Powell, and the 2001 NHC champion and past president of the Association of Racing Commissioners International and a current NTRA board member, Judy Wagner.
Congratulations to all the very deserving winners. But especially for me, I have to say thank you to our Eclipse merit winners. Andy Bauer and Stephen Chris have been so important to the horse players. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It's because of you, Stephen, and that little napkin or whatever story I've heard about the creation of the National Handicapping Championship that I'm here tonight. The NTRA and you came up with a fabulous concept, and it's an area of horse racing that I'm thrilled to say is growing. But congratulations on your honor, and thank you from all the horse players for all the things that you do, and especially recognizing a horse player with an Eclipse Award. And that brings me to hand it over to you, Lonnie.
Thank you, Judy. We all know you're a highly acclaimed handicapper as well. In fact, you got an Eclipse Award for being such a great handicapper. And I think even with all those great skills, you'd say probably one of the short prices in life is nobody does winter better than Florida. So on behalf of the many owners and breeders and the farms and everybody involved in the Florida industry, I'd like to echo the welcome to our Sunshine State, to our many friends out of state and across the world, and certainly for our native Floridians. Thank you for coming, and do try to come back next week for the Pegasus World Cup. It should be a very, very exciting time here in Florida. But now we have the business at hand, Judy, and I'll turn it over to you so we get on to our business of recognizing and congratulating not only great winners, but some great nominees.
And here are the nominees for the older female.
And the racing world is full of adoration for this wonderful mare who's aging like fine wine. Behold her back at age 6 with aplomb.
What a finish! It's cavorting! And dazzling cavorting in the ruffian.
Stella Winston from the Clementel. A red letter day for Espinosa. Stella Wind has beaten Beholder a neck.
All right, and the Eclipse for older dirt female goes to Beholder. Accepting the Eclipse Award for Beholder, the outstanding dirt female, is her owner, B. Wayne Hughes of Spendthrift Farm. This is the 4th Eclipse Award for Beholder and ties her with Azarian Zenyatta as the most decorated female Eclipse Award winner of all time. Trained by Richard Mandela, Beholder won 2-year-old champion in 2012. She won the older female championship in 2013 and 2015. Last year, this daughter of Henny Hughes won 3 of her 6 races, highlighted by her dramatic win over Songbird in the Longines Breeders' Cup Distaff under veteran reinsman Gary Stevens. Beholder was retired with 18 wins, 11 of those being Grade 1 scores. She was bred in Kentucky by Clarkland Farm.
Well, I mean, thank you for the award that Beholder won. I would like to mention that I wish you'd stop showing the race, because every time I look at it, it looks like Songbird won. So it's probably the only race that you could have a winner and no loser. So anyway, it's my pleasure to get this award. Beholder, I think, deserves it. I have up here Raul and the trainer. Raul was the first person that put a saddle on the horse, and Richard is the one that took it off reluctantly.
Well, she was a great pleasure to train. When, after the Breeders' Cup, Mr. Hughes informed me that that was it, sent her home, and I put it off for a couple of weeks, and he stole her in the middle of the night. About 2:30 in the morning, my wife and daughter and all of the barn crew were there loading her up, tears in her eyes, and hoping that Mr. Hughes would give us a call and give us a reprieve. Didn't happen. So she's home at Spendthrift Farm, and we just went there and visited her for a day and a half and had quite a time. But I can say that my life will never be the same without her. Thank you.
Now we move to the older male dirt horse of the year, and the nominees are
California Chrome is awesome again in the autumn again.
In Dubai, Chrome turns to gold. Rusted has won with ease in the Whitney. Rusted is absolutely rusted the Met.
Here's Lord Nelson with his run now, going to get the lead. A dominating performance. Lord Nelson easy in the Bing Crosby.
Wow, some big-time horses for a big-time award. The older dirt male, Eclipse, goes to the one and only California Chrome.
Accepting the Eclipse Award for California Chrome, the unanimous winner of the 2016 Older Dirt Male title are his owners, Perry Martin and Frank Taylor of Taylor Made Farm. This California-bred superstar, combining awesome speed and power, had a dominant year, winning 7 of 8 races, including Grade 1 stakes victories in the Dubai World Cup, the TVG Pacific Classic, and the Awesome Again Stakes, racking up more than $8 million in the process. This chestnut son of Lucky Pulpit is trained by Art Sherman and has been ridden to victory by Victor Espinoza throughout his career. He finished second to Arrogate in the Breeders' Cup Classic, but won 2 other graded stakes in the San Pasquale and the San Diego Handicap.
Here we go. I can do it. Go ahead. All right.
Well, thank you to all the voters. Without you, we couldn't have won. Chrome couldn't be here tonight. He had a scheduling conflict with his chiropractor, so I'm going to do the best I can to fill in for him. Everybody knows that Chrome had a spectacular year, and that spectacular year is really a testament to all the people that we put in place around him. So those are the people that I'd like to thank tonight. And I'm going to start with Victor Espinoza. Victor, you didn't win an Eclipse Award, but what do you got to do, man? You know? Art and Alan Sherman was his trainer. They kept him in peak condition throughout the year. I just can't say enough about him. Thank you, Art and Alan. Raul and Florentina Rodriguez. Raul is Chrome's groom. Florentina is not only Chrome's hot walker, but she's also Raul's wife. They're not going to win an Eclipse Award either. I think that the grooms and the back, the people on the back in the barns really should have their own Eclipse Award. And hopefully, the awards committee will see fit to institute that sometime in the future. Take a page from His Highness Sheikh Mohammed. He knows what he's doing. Also, we have Anna Wells. Anna works for Art. She fills in everywhere that she's needed. She was the exercise rider for Chrome for a while. She took over, she's Alan's assistant. She took over for him when he goes on vacation and sends out the reports to me and to Frank. Dahaji Gladney. Dahaji, again, his smile lights up the track in the mornings when he's out there working Chrome. I can't say enough about him. Also, I don't want to forget TaylorMade and the other owners in our partners in California Chrome LLC. Everybody shows a lot of faith in Chrome. They knew we could get it done this year. And I'd like to just say thank you to them for having the faith in this horse that I had when he was born. And it's just great. And then finally, I'd like to thank the fans. The fans have just, every year, they're just marvelous. Everybody wishing us well and wishing us well for next week. And just thank you to everybody. It's all about you guys, really. Thank you.
I just want to say that I am just totally grateful. This has been 54 years old, and I've never had a year like this. I never dreamed I'd have a year like this. You know, from January to December, this horse has just changed our lives, and it's been something special. And I think Perry did a fantastic job recognizing the players that made this happen. And, you know, it all starts with horsemanship. That's the basis of everything. Great horsemanship. You can't achieve things in this business without great horsemanship. And he recognized everybody on the team that did a great job. The only person that he missed was, I want to recognize Gilberto Terrazas at our farm. When Chrome came there, in 90 days, he put on 190 pounds. He turned into a totally different horse, and that was the first step of passing the baton. And then we sent him to Art and Allen, and it's been like flawless, the horsemanship that's happened from this point. He went to Dubai, and he came back, and Gilberto and the crew did a great job laying him up for a short period of time. And, you know, it's just great horsemanship is the key to everything. And good people, that's everything. And I'm very appreciative to Perry and Denise for letting us be partners with them. And it's been a ride of a lifetime. I'm very grateful. Thank you.
Congratulations, gentlemen. Wow, what a thrill that horse has given us. This past year, no doubt, a lot of Pharoah fanatics became California Chromies to help with the withdrawals, and Chrome did not disappoint. He left us with one jaw-dropping performance and magic memory after another. 7 wins and 8 starts. And he's closing in on, as we said, could be 20 million in earnings. Well, California Chrome is still electrifying us, and he is still a fitting finalist for Horse of the Year.
It is rare that a Horse of the Year at age 3 is adding to his resume at age 5. But California Chrome was a gold-plated exception. Coming back from a difficult 4-year-old season, the 2014 Eclipse champion thrilled his Chromie followers with 6 consecutive victories. From California, he traveled to Dubai to win what was then the richest horse race in the world. The trip, which some horses have had difficulty overcoming in the past, was no problem for Chrome. And back at home, California Chrome added to the Grade 1 tallies with a Grade 1 win in the TVG Pacific Classic. And the Awesome Again.
California Chrome, on the cusp of a perfect season, is awesome again in the Awesome Again.
Even in a later defeat in the Breeders' Cup Classic, California Chrome was flashing high style.
All right. It's time now for our second Award of Merit recipient. It goes to another man who has spent his life devoted to thoroughbred racing, handicapping, and all the exasperating frustrations and electrifying celebrations that go along with it. In fact, Steve Christ called racing the greatest game ever invented. And for nearly 40 years, he's been a political advisor, a racing executive, an editor, publisher, and ombudsman. But it's his work on behalf of the fans, the wagering public, that's been most meaningful. In fact, we now have an additional Eclipse Award because of him.
Stephen Christ found a broad range of success as a journalist, author, publisher, and racetrack executive, and as a prolific horse player during a distinguished career in thoroughbred racing. Steve covered racing for the New York Times from 1981 until 1990, when he became founding editor-in-chief of the Racing Times. Innovations he incorporated into that new daily featured an enhanced past performance product that included implementation of the Beyer speed figures and reporting race times and fractions in hundredths of a second. Following a stint as an executive with the New York Racing Association, in 2002, Steve joined a group of investors who purchased the historic Daily Racing Form, where he was chairman and publisher of the DRF until his retirement last July. Steve played a key role in the creation of the National Handicapping Championship and was the first to advocate that a horse player should be recognized each year at the Eclipse Awards along with the sport's other human and equine champions.
And please join me in giving a warm welcome to Steve Christ.
When I was first informed that I'd be a recipient of this award, I looked back at the list of previous honorees and included a Mellon, a Vanderbilt, a couple of Phippses, and my overwhelming thought was somebody has made a terrible mistake. But I thank you very much for your mistake. It's really an honor to be honored on the same night with the same award as Andy Beyer. Andy was the person who inspired me to get into the game in the first place when I read his books. So if you don't like me, you can blame Beyer. And he really set the standard for horse player advocacy and player-oriented turf riding that I aspired to, so that really does make this a great pleasure. The other reason that I'm really touched by this award and grateful for it is that I am, perhaps excessively, perhaps obsessively, I love the Eclipse Awards. And I think that the Eclipse Awards are one of the things that makes us very special in the world of sports. We don't automatically award Eclipse Awards and championships to the winners of a single race. Unlike other sports where a fluke can determine a champion, we instead sit down at the end of the year, a group of well-informed, qualified, impartial voters, and look at the entirety of a season and decide, for the sake of history and for the sake of fairness, who was the real champion of his or her division. And I think that's something special, and it's something very important. And I hope this industry continues giving out Eclipse Awards on that basis for a long time to come. You didn't think you were getting away with my final night here without a little bit of a lecture. So I'll mention just a few things that remain important to me. Please don't fool with the Triple Crown. A couple of years ago, this industry was within a few inches of changing the spacing between the races, changing the dates, maybe changing the distances, because people were so sure it could never happen again, and that we no longer bred horses who were capable of doing it. And really, that came within a whisker of happening, and then the very next year, American Pharoah came along and proved that it could still be done. It's your greatest asset. You don't need to gild the lily. Leave it alone, don't change it. And number two, I implore you to keep moving the Breeders' Cup around the country, having it at different sites, and please bring it back to New York. It's been 13 years and counting, and that's just plain wrong. Third, I would urge you to pick up the gun that so many in this industry have pointed directly at their feet and stop treating every minuscule and meaningless medication overage as racing's latest scandal. And finally, I urge all of you to go to the ntra.com website and add your support to the Treasury regulations that are going to reform taxation of parimutuel wagers. It is going to increase handle. It's going to shock you how much it's going to increase handle. Please go and add your support. This is a very, very important matter, and we're this close, thanks to the NTRA, to getting it done. You know, I had the privilege for the last 16 years to hand out the Handicapper of the Year award, and I think you've found a great successor in Mandy Minger to do that job. But I always said that while it was in part an award to one individual for a specific accomplishment, it really was an award to all the horse players, and the point of it was to recognize their importance to the industry. And having said that 16 times, I think it's only fair for me to say that I accept this award in the same spirit on behalf of all of my wonderful colleagues in journalism and all the fans and the horse players out there who keep the game going. Finally, I want to thank my wife of 30 years, Robin Foster, for sticking with me through thick and thin. She couldn't be here tonight. She's stuck in New York with our 4-year-old Emma and our 9-year-old Junior. And I guess I should point out that these are not human children, but retired racing greyhounds. They take a lot of attention. And as the people in this room know, your animals are your family. Thank you very, very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Senior Vice President of the Racing and Nominations for the Breeders' Cup, Dora Delgado, and partner and clinician at Hayard Equine Medical Institute, Dr. Rhonda Rathgabar.
Most of us are quite happy that 2016 is now behind us, but for the nominees in the Outstanding Owner category, 2016 provided some incredible moments of racing, and they took all of us along for the ride.
Some very familiar names lead the Outstanding Owner category, so let's take a look at their powerhouse seasons for 2016.
The finalists for Owner of the Year include the familiar duo of Ken and Sarah Ramsey, the internationally renowned Juddmonte of Prince Khalid Abdullah, and the re-emerging name of Spendthrift Farm. Juddmonte, a two-time Eclipse Award-winning stable, racked up more than $7 million in purse earnings from only 100 North American starters. Juddmonte's 22 wins included Arrogate's 13-length Travers victory and his instant classic in the Breeders' Cup Classic. Other memorable moments were provided by Eclipse finalist and returning champion Flincher and Suffused. The Ramseys, already winners of 4 Eclipse Awards for Outstanding Owner, had a typical Ramsey year. The stable led all owners in earnings for the 3rd time in the last 4 years and had a total of 131 race winners. Key Ramsey victories were recorded by Sir Dudley Diggs in Canada's Queen's Plate, as well as the E.P. Taylor at Woodbine with Al's Gal. Camelot Kitten won 4 stakes, including the National Museum Racing Hall of Fame Stakes at Saratoga. Since acquiring Spendthrift Farm, B. Wayne Hughes has brought the historic farm to prominence in the yearling market, established innovative breeding commerce, and campaigned a string of major stakes winners. Pride of place among Spendthrift runners has been multiple Eclipse Award winner Beholder, who ended her career on a splendid note by defeating Songbird in the Longines Breeders' Cup Distaff. Lord Nelson also won 3 Grade 1 stakes in the Spendthrift colors.
I'm truly honored on behalf of Haggard Equine Medical Institute to announce the winner of the Owner for 2016, Juddmonte Farms.
Accepting the Eclipse Award is Garrett O'Rourke, U.S. Racing Manager of Juddmonte Farms. This is the 3rd Outstanding Owner Award for Prince Khalid Abdullah's Juddmonte Farms, which previously captured the honor in 1992 and in 2003. Dominant performances by Grade 1 winners Arrogate in the Travers and the Breeders' Cup Classic and Flincher in the Manhattan and Sword Dancer propelled Juddmonte to lead all North American owners with nearly $7.2 million in earnings. Juddmonte has also won the Outstanding Breeder Eclipse Award 4 times.
Again, thank you very much. And I would like to congratulate our fellow nominees who are titan owners of this industry in Ken and Sarah Ramsey and B. Wayne Hughes. It's an honor to be in your company. I'd like to thank Bob Baffert, Bill Mott and Chad Brown for their contributions, and that I think is in order of seniority, so no favourites. And also I really need to thank everyone back on the farm who worked so hard and with such pride for all things Juddmonte. Deep down, this was the award that I most hoped that we could win tonight. Owners of racehorses obviously put a huge investment forth to engage in their pleasure, and that's both monetary and an emotional investment, and they bear huge risk. And the hardships far outweigh the rewards, and all owners that endure share a common passion with Juddmonte's owner, Prince Khalid Abdullah, but I do know firsthand that none has more passion. I think Prince Khalid is currently watching this on TV, so I'm very happy to accept this award on your behalf as a reward for your passion in this sport. Thank you.
The nominees for Outstanding Trainer include a Canadian Hall of Famer, a National Museum Hall of Racing Famer, and a trainer whose future induction is a sure bet. Together, they had 31 Grade 1 wins, $57 million in earning, and have 9 finalists tonight. They truly define the word outstanding. Here are your finalists.
The trainer category pits 2 finalists seeking their first Eclipse Awards against 4-time winner Bob Baffert. Baffert came off his Triple Crown season of 2015 without a letdown, winning 23 graded stakes races while compiling purse earnings of nearly $17 million. He won 11 Grade 1 races, including Arrogate's Travers and Breeders' Cup Classic scores, Dre Fong's wins in the Grade 1 King's Bishop and the Twin Spires Breeders' Cup Sprint, and Opportunities tally in the Jockey Club Gold Cup. In 2016, Chad Brown continued establishing himself into the elite ranks of horsemen nationwide, leading the country in purse earnings with over $23 million. Bringing Lady Eli back from laminitis to win the Grade 1 Flower Bowl was just one of his 12 Grade 1 wins this year. They also included Flincher's wins in the Woodford Reserve Manhattan and Longines Sword Dancer, as well as New Money Honey's Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies Turf win and Connect Score in the Cigar Mile. Mark Casse broke into the spotlight with 2 Breeders' Cup winners in 2015 and had continued success with increasing prestige in 2016. He won 8 Grade 1 races, including the Ascension Jet Breeders' Cup Juvenile with early Triple Crown favorite Classic Empire. His roster of Grade 1 winners also included Rico Woodbine Mile winner Tepid, Belmont Oaks winner Catch a Glimpse, and World Approval, who won the Grade 1 United Nations at Monmouth Park. Casse concluded the year with nearly $18 million in purse earnings.
It is my honor to present the Eclipse Award to Chad Brown.
This is the first outstanding trainer title for Chad Brown, born and raised in the upstate New York community of Mechanicville. In 2016, Brown led all North American trainers with 42 graded stakes wins and 12 Grade 1 triumphs. Big scores came with 9 of those Grade 1s on turf, led by Flincher in the Woodford Reserve Manhattan and the Longines Sword Dancer, Lady Eli in the Flower Bowl, and New Money Honey in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies Turf. On dirt, Jockey won Grade 1 races in the Champagne, and Connect took the Cigar Mile. Brown also led all North American trainers in earnings with more than $23 million.
Thank you. What an honor. And a cherry on top for one of our close family friends, Dora, who does so much work at the Breeders' Cup for industry. And she's just been a great friend to us. So thank you, Dora, for giving me this award. I first want to congratulate the other finalists. Both Mark Casse and Bob Baffert had outstanding seasons last year, very much Eclipse worthy in any other year. So congrats to you. My staff, I'm up here getting the award, but like I've said all year, I just can't do it without them. So many talented, dedicated people work with me side by side every day. Unfortunately, I can't name all of them. I wish I could. But I do want to recognize some of my assistant trainers from last year that I thought showed tremendous leadership and organizing our training and racing plans every day, and were very much instrumental. Excuse me, that's Jose Hernandez, Sheree DeVoe, who's here tonight. Sheree, if you'd stand up, please. George Abreu, Whit Beckman, and Dermot Magner. In addition to them, I'm so blessed to have the best exercise riders in the game, the best foremen, grooms, and hot walkers. All of you that are watching, thank you. You have a piece of this award. I want to thank my bookkeeper, Mary McCulloch, who was my very first employee. It was me and her when we got started. If anyone out there wants to hurt me, kidnap Mary, turn off her cell phone, and you've shut the entire operation down. I promise you. So Mary, thank you. All my clients, I'm so lucky. So many wonderful clients I trained for that provide us with these talented horses to work with, and they roll with us through the highs and the lows of this game, and a very patient group of owners. I'm so lucky, so thank you to all of you. I want to thank all the jockeys that rode horses for us. All of us in this room appreciate your bravery in this sometimes dangerous sport, and I really appreciate all the dedication you've shown to our stable. I want to thank my veterinary practice at Teaglin, Franklin, and Broken. Sometimes I think the vets get a little bit of bad rap in this game, and it's one of the only sports that involves animals where they have 24-hour-a-day veterinary care, and they're a real asset, and this vet practice has been real instrumental in keeping all our horses healthy. both on and off the track. I want to thank some of the other unsung heroes, part of our team, the Blacksmiths, led by Bernie Walters and Mark Dewey and all their partners. They do a tremendous job and don't get a lot of credit, keeping a lot of horses' feet in good order. I want to thank our primary horse transporters, Sally Vans, all their agents and drivers. You know, sometimes when we're still sleeping or we're at an event like this, there's a horse traveling somewhere, and somebody's taking that horse safely from one point to another. So thank you for excellent service. I want to thank my family, my wife Terrell, my daughters Ava and Andy are up here. My mom and dad are present. My brother Todd couldn't make it. Thank you for excuse me, your support and understanding of my busy schedule. I want to thank the only 3 trainers I ever worked for, Paul Kelly, Shug McGahee, and Bobby Frankel. Most of what I know is from you 3, and I still use it every day. And last of all, I want to thank all the horses for all their consistency and bravery. None of us here would be here tonight without those horses, so thank you to all of you.
Great message, Chad. Congratulations. And we'd like to welcome the NBC Sports audience that has joined us. We've got 5 more awards to hand out, including, of course, Horse of the Year, which leads us to our 3rd Horse of the Year finalist. This is one who's been taking our breath away for 2 years now, and she's only 3. Her stunning performances have been music to the ears of racing fans across the country, and just what the doctor ordered for her owner. She was a nose away from a perfect campaign in 2016, but don't tell her that because she thinks she won. And that's a good thing because the goal is perfection this year too. Our 3rd Horse of the Year finalist is Songbird.
Songbird is the perfect name for Fox Hill Farms champion filly. Like a songbird, she treated us to her own form of loveliness in Grade 1 races with such historic names as the Santa Anita Oaks, the Coaching Club American Oaks, and the Alabama. Songbird's signature was leading early on, dominating as the race continued. She was always elegant and always in control.
It is Songbird, this magnificent filly, winning the Alabama. She is a perfect 10.
Then, in her only loss against the Amazon Beholder in the Longines Breeders' Cup Distaff, Songbird showed that there was plenty of toughness within that loveliness. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the national correspondent for the Daily Racing Form, Jay Privman, and partners in Lux Air, Ken McMahon and Jeannie King.
Thank you very much. I would like to take this opportunity to thank on behalf of Lux Air and the Thoroughbred Aftercare Alliance, B. Wayne Hughes and Kenneth and Sarah Ramsey for the generous donation of raising $82,000 for the Thoroughbred Aftercare. Thank you.
Thank you, Ken. The first of the 2 awards that we're going to present tonight is for Champion 3-year-old filly. The finalists include the Kentucky Oaks winner, a Breeders' Cup winner, and a defending champion, or a champion from last year who is a Horse of the Year finalist. Here are the nominees.
Catherine Sophia wins the Devona Dale by about 7.
Catherine Sophia on to victory.
Queen Struts are coming down to the line. Very close. Queen Struts may have got there. A raise on the whip by Frankie DeCory. It is Songbird, this magnificent filly, winning the Alabama. She is a perfect 10.
Okay, and the winner is, looks easier on TV, Songbird.
Accepting the Eclipse Award for Songbird, the unanimous winner of the 3-year-old filly title is Rick and Betsy Porter. Trained by Jerry Hollendorfer, no filly sang a sweeter tune in 2016 than this daughter of Medagliadoro, who rolled to 7 consecutive victories on both coasts, including Grade 1 romps in the Santa Anita Oaks, the Coaching Club American Oaks, the Alabama Stakes, and the Cotillion at Parks. She suffered her first career defeat at the hands of Beholder, losing by a nose in the Longines Breeders' Cup Distaff. She was ridden in all her races by veteran reinsman Mike Smith. This is the second Eclipse Award for Songbird, who won the 2-year-old filly championship just last year in 2015.
My wife has instructed me to make this short and concise, so here I try. First, I want to thank my right-hand girl and general manager, Victoria Keith. She's been with me 13 years and has learned and improved in many aspects since she's been with me. Next, I want to recognize and thank Tom McGreevy, who has an uncanny talent for picking out graded winners and champions. I tag along looking at Tom's short list and add some input in there once in a while. Tom's been with me 18 years. Bill Riccio and family have really improved our breaking and training program. Bill was right on in assessing Songbird throughout her 2-year-old training with him. They made it clear that Songbird was the real deal. Jerry Hollendorfer has done a magnificent job with Songbird, winning 11 straight, and then getting beaten in the Breeders' Cup in a world-class battle with Beholder and other great distaffers. If I had to lose to anyone, I couldn't have picked a better trio, perhaps the classiest trio in racing, Wayne Hughes, Dick Mandela, and Beholder. Mike Smith is a special person to me going back to 2000 when he won my first Grade 1 with a horse named Jostle. Mike has been a great friend and rider for Fox Hill Farm. Our friendship adds a lot to the Songbird story. And lastly, the incredible, beautiful Songbird. She truly is almost a perfect horse. She is the center of the picture that has brought massive excitement to me, my family, my friends, and many, many racing fans. Most importantly, I want to thank God for allowing me to be here tonight, even with my persistent health issues. Thank you. Victoria Keith has a few short words she wants to say.
Rick neglected to mention one other person who's been instrumental in Songbird's success, and that's Rick. I've been privileged to work for Rick for the past 13 years. I know firsthand the management decisions that have had a positive impact on the track and in the health of the horse. Top trainers who have been at their craft for decades admit Rick has taught them a few things. Rick is quick to acknowledge everyone around him for the success of Fox Hill Farm, but there has only been one constant in that success. From Jostle to Songbird, it's not been any assistant, any trainer, or any agent. The one and only constant has been Rick. I've told hundreds of people through the years that I've had the best position in racing. It's not due to the exciting horses we've had that's a bonus. It's because Rick runs his stable ethically and treats the horses and people around him with kindness, understanding, generosity, and humor. Rick should be proud tonight, but not just for Songbird and not for the other top horses he's campaigned, but for the sterling reputation he has built for himself and for Fox Hill Farm.
And now for the 3-year-old male Eclipse Award, which includes finalists at a Kentucky Derby winner, a Preakness winner, and a Breeders' Cup Classic winner. Pretty good list of finalists. Let's look at the video.
Arrowgate steals the show! Arrowgate, what a commanding performance. He won the Travers by 12! Exaggerator and the Preakness.
Exaggerator has gone straight past them like they were tied to the rail.
Nyquist has won the Florida Derby. Still unbeaten, he has won the Kentucky Derby!
Try this again. And the winner is Arrowgate.
Accepting the Eclipse Award for Arrowgate is Garrett O'Rourke, the U.S. racing manager of Juddmonte Farms. Trained by Bob Baffert, Arrowgate turned in 2 of the greatest performances by any racehorse last year with a record-setting score in the Grade 1 Travers and a tour de force over California Chrome in the Breeders' Cup Classic. He won 5 of 6 starts in all and becomes just the 3rd horse in Eclipse Award era history to win the 3-year-old title without having competed in any of the Triple Crown races. This gray-roan son of Unbridled Song was bred in Kentucky by Clear Sky Farm. Arrowgate is the 7th 3-year-old champion trained by Bob Baffert.
Jay just joked to me that I'll have to get a new pair of shoes. But we don't take this lightly. You know, we have a very special horse. Buying a small number of quality yearlings annually, it's like investing in high-risk stock, and you probably know the odds are stacked against you, but you calculate the risk because you dream of a big payoff. Well, Prince Khaled's dream was obviously bigger and clearer than any of ours. I'd like to thank Bob and Donato for their expertise in picking out Arrowgate at the sales. I want to thank Bob Baffert and his staff for guiding Arrowgate to brilliant performances on most importantly, on the most important days. And finally, I'd like to thank Mike Smith for his ability to fit his contribution to Arrowgate's success into less than 4 minutes. Thank you.
Our next presenters epitomize the life of a racetracker or people who cover racing. These 2 ladies were up at 5 a.m. They were on the backstretch for California Chrome's work, and then they were here all day through 14 races. They are the television hosts and analysts for Gulfstream Park, and here they are looking fantastic at 10 o'clock at night. I don't know how they do it, but please give a warm welcome to Acacia Courtney and Gabby Gaudet.
Thank you. Yes, it has been a long day, a long couple of weeks for sure, but it's been so exciting getting ready for next week and, of course, the Pegasus World Cup, and it's a thrill for both of us to be here. And this is actually my first year working for the Stronach Group, and I can say it's been one of the most challenging and fulfilling experiences that I've ever had. And, of course, working alongside Gabby Gaudet and Ron Nicoletti and all of the amazing people that we get to see and get to celebrate each and every day. So we're excited to continue to be able to celebrate that tonight and on to next week with the Pegasus World Cup.
Absolutely. It is your first year working for the Stronach Group. I'm going on year number 4 come March, so it's been very exciting for the past couple of years, and we've gotten to see such great things. And I just wanted to take a moment, and I was sitting in the stands throughout the night just listening to all the acceptance speeches and kind of recapping all of the performances we saw in the year. And just a round of applause for everybody so far getting back here. It's been a phenomenal year.
It has indeed, and we get to have the honor of presenting the winners of Juvenile Filly and Juvenile Male for 2016. And the 2-year-olds come onto the scene and bring a year full of hope and promise for what's to come in the sport of horse racing.
And we will now take a look at the nominations for 2-year-old fillies.
Champagne Room, a 30-1 upset.
Champagne Room and Mario Gutierrez won the Sorrento.
Lady Aurelia is going to destroy the field in the Queen Mary. A sensational performance. What a win. Here's No Money Honey coming after her on the outside. It is No Money Honey.
And the Eclipse Award for 2-year-old filly goes to, I'm really going to try not to Steve Harvey this, Champagne Room.
Accepting the Eclipse Award for Champagne Room is co-owner Joe Ciaglia. Last year, Champagne Room broke her maiden in style, taking the Grade 2 Sorrento Stakes at Del Mar. She found it a bit harder at first in Grade 1 company, finishing 3rd in the Del Mar Debutante and 4th in the Chandelier Stakes at Santa Anita. But this daughter of Broken Vow put it all together in the 14 Hands Winery Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies, shocking the Santa Anita crowd with a 3/4 length score at odds of 33-1 under jockey Mario Gutierrez. Trained by Peter Urton, Champagne Room was bred in Kentucky by Respite Farms.
You guys happy? I want to thank everybody that voted for us. Actually, we're very, very happy, you can tell. No, we are very overwhelmed. Thank you very much. I want to thank the connections, or congratulate the connections, basically, of Miss Aurelia, not Miss Aurelia, I'm sorry, Lady Aurelia. Miss Aurelia beat me in one day, and first time we're here in Churchill, and not Churchill, but here. I'm sorry, guys. I'll start over. Congratulations to Lady Aurelia and to New Money Honey. Sorry, guys, I'm a little nervous here. Kind of excited, but congratulations to you guys. I really appreciate your connection there, and we're very proud of our horses, I'm sure, as well as you guys are. I'd like to mention a few of our owners here. Basically, we got Phil over here, Ryan, Justin, and Robin Christensen. Dan Legan that can't be here, he's at home. And one of my special partners, Sharon Alicia, of 16 years, she's home watching too. I'm very proud to be a partner with her. I want to mention a couple other people that are super special to me. My wife, Stephanie, come up here, please. My wife actually got me into this game. I used to love going to the races in Arcadia, and she introduced me to Peter Urton, my trainer. Come up here, please, Pete. Hey, buddy. Yeah. So Pete and I have been good friends for about 25 years, yeah. 20 years. And got our first horse about 17 years ago. And we had no idea what the Eclipse Awards were. We were just claiming guys, you know, and to be here today is amazing. But we actually had a great time learning together. And one more guy I got to bring into the group. Larry Zapp, where are you hiding? Another special man in my life, Larry Zapp. He's a guy that kind of pushes me to buy horses, right? I got my wife, Stephanie, saying, Joe, don't you have enough horses? And Larry says, we need to buy more. And actually, this is the first time I can tell my wife, honey, we don't have enough horses. So this is a great group of people here, my friends, my family. I appreciate everybody. Thank you very much. I'm so proud to be here.
I just want to say thank you to Champagne Room, the horse that got us up here. From the day Pete and I saw her in Ocala, we just thought she was the real deal. She just, everything you would want in a horse. From the moment Pete got her back at the barn, she just trained like a quality horse. When she won that race, actually when she turned for home in the lead, I mean, nobody ever screamed louder. Maybe the New Money Honey people screamed louder, but we were screaming loud, and Champagne Room brought us here, and thank you, Philly. There's a lot of Miss Patcher's cookies waiting for you when we get back to California.
Anybody that's got any champagne left? Champagne Room.
Congratulations to the connections of Champagne Room. And then there were two. We have just one more award left before we get to Horse of the Year. Here are the finalists for 2-year-old male.
Classic Empire wins it. Here's the wire. Classic Empire holds on. He's a champion 2-year-old.
For the 16th to go. Not this time, finishing full of run in the Iroquois.
Who continue to fight. The three of them will come to the wire in the humble and practical joke was all business.
And the Eclipse Award for Juvenile Male goes to Classic Empire.
Accepting the Eclipse Award for Classic Empire, the unanimous winner of the 2-year-old championship is his trainer, Mark Cassie. Owned by John Oxley, Classic Empire won 4 of 5 starts last year, including the Grade 3 Bashford Manor at Churchill, a 3-length triumph in the Claiborne Breeders' Futurity at Keeneland, and holding off not this time to win the Ascension Jet Breeders' Cup Juvenile by an egg to secure the title. Classic Empire was bred in Kentucky by Stephen and Brandy Nicholson, and this is the second Eclipse Award of the night for trainer Mark Cassie, who also campaigned Tepin to the female turf title.
Mr. Oxley wrote this for me to read, so here we go. Debbie and I very much regret not being with you tonight for the tribute to Classic Empire. As 2-year-old male champion, a long-planned family vacation trip is now underway and prevents us from being present. Our ownership is simply good luck and good fortune. We wish to pay grateful tribute tonight to the most deserving, to the amazing horse, Classic Empire, to breeders Stephen and Brandy Nicholson, and trainer Mark Cassie and assistant trainer Norman Cassie, and their fine staff for the excellence in the respective roles. Sincerely thanks as well to esteemed sponsors of the Eclipse Award and superb management of Gulfstream Park, respectively, John C. Oxley. On a personal note, I have often heard it said, without the betters and the horses, we wouldn't have our sport. And while I agree both are very important, there's nothing more important than our owners. And after all, without them, there would be no horses or betters. And with John Oxley, there's no better owner or man. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome back to the stage your host for the evening and give a warm round of applause to Janine Edwards.
I'd like to just give a quick thank you and shout out to our trophy gal this year, Maria Morel. Fantastic job. Lovely job, by the way. Thank you for your help tonight. And I want to remind everybody about the after party at Frankie's Sports Bar in the Village. That is compliments of Keeneland. So please join us over there. And gosh, we're ahead of schedule. So that's a great thing. And every single finalist tonight over at Frankie's has one of these engraved mint julep cups, compliments of the NTRA. So you can pick up your engraved mint julep cup over at Frankie's Sports Bar during the after party. And now it's my great honor and privilege to once again, for the 6th time now, welcome the presenter for the Horse of the Year award. This gentleman has been deftly guiding the NTRA as president and CEO for the last 10 years. There have been political successes and legislative successes and industry successes. And tonight, of course, is another wonderful celebration and success. So please join me in welcoming Alex Waldrop.
Thank you, Janine. Another great job. And you know what? You get a gold star tonight because we're ahead of schedule. We've got this great time online tonight, so we're going to stretch it out a few minutes. I'm joking. No, we're going to get to the end here. I'm going to start by once again thanking all of you for being here. On behalf of the NTRA, our board and directors, our sponsors, especially the Breeders' Cup, the Daily Racing Forum, the Stronach Group, and our wonderful hosts, the folks here at Gulfstream Park, I want to welcome you all to this 46th Annual Eclipse Awards. I also want to acknowledge our important official charities tonight, the Permanently Disabled Jockeys Fund, and of course, the Thoroughbred Aftercare Alliance, who have done so well tonight. We are very grateful for those partnerships. I also want to welcome people who are watching us across the country tonight on TVG2. We've got folks on RTN, the Racetrack Television Network, and really across the world, people are all watching tonight. We've already spoken about NBCSports.com. We're on DRF.com. We're on XBTV, and we're on other outlets as well, so welcome. And I want to congratulate, as always, our award recipients tonight. I always wish the best of racing luck in 2017 for all of our competitors, all of our finalists who will be coming back to compete in 2017. It's always great to see that, but especially next week they'll be back here for the inaugural Pegasus World Cup Invitational. How exciting is that? Frank, thank you for your vision, sir. Belinda, thank you and your team for executing that vision. This is an exciting time for racing, and good luck for a great weekend next week. Thank you. I would be remiss if I didn't also add my voice to those congratulating Steve Christ and Andy Byer as well. I want to congratulate Horseplayer of the Year, Paul Matisse. Folks, the regulatory changes that have been proposed by the U.S. Treasury are fundamental changes to the way the federal government is going to withhold and report winning pari-mutuel wagers. I can't tell you how important that is to every one of us in this room. And we wouldn't be here tonight if it weren't for the relentless advocacy of Steve and Andy. These gentlemen have been at the forefront. They've taught me, they've taught our staff what's important, and we've pushed for that. And I thank you and I applaud you for your help and your support for that, Steve. And Andy. But you know, if you want to honor them, don't just clap. You go to NTRA.com and you put a comment in. You make sure the Treasury Department knows that you support this. We need to speak with one voice. This is an important time. This is a time of change at the Treasury Department. We need to act now. And if you have not already done so, and I'll thank you if you have, but if not, take out your phones tonight, submit that comment. It's vitally important for all of us that you do that. Okay? So, enough of the lectures. It's now time to do what I came out here to do, which was to announce the finalists for the 2016 Horse of the Year. Here's the video.
One of the greatest performances you'll ever see. California Chrome in a canter. Songbird has whistled past the graveyard of champions, winning the Coaching Club American
All right. 2016 Horse of the Year, California Chrome.
Accepting the Eclipse Award for California Chrome, the 2016 Horse of the Year are his owners, Perry Martin and Frank Taylor of Taylor Made Farm. This is the second Horse of the Year award for the sensational California bred who won the trophy back in 2014. California Chrome also becomes the first horse since John Henry in 1981 and 1984 to win Horse of the Year titles in non-consecutive years. In 2016, California Chrome won 7 of 8 starts for trainer Art Sherman and became the all-time leading North American money earner with more than $14.5 million in the bank. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it again for the Horse of the Year, California Chrome.
We only have a few of our group up here tonight, so it's not quite as bad as our winner circle pictures. We won the Older Horse of the Year award earlier tonight, and everybody told me I did a wonderful job. So I'd just like to say, Ditto. Also, when I rented this tux, I looked in the pocket, and then there's this little packet of stuff in there, and it had 3 lines of writing on it. And the first line said desiccant. Guy over here doesn't know what that is. Excuse me, sir. Do you do the Bayer numbers for the daily racing form? Okay. Let me help you. The second line says silica gel. Still no clue. Okay. Well, then now I know what the third line was for. The third line said, do not eat. Okay. So now we know why that third line was on there. I was thinking, I know babies like to put stuff in their mouth, but babies don't know how to read, so it'd be ridiculous to put that on there for them. So now we know I knew that there was some segment, some sub-segment of the population that needed that on there, and now I know it's turf riders. Okay? Turf riders are great. I learn a lot about myself reading the articles about me. I read at least 3 articles that said I had a dry sense of humor. And so that's why I had to go with a desiccant joke. Turf riders really care about me. I can tell they care about me because they're always asking me how I feel. Perry, how does it feel? Let me do this again. Perry, how does it feel to win the Kentucky Derby? Wonderful. Perry, how does it feel to lose the Pennsylvania Derby? Terrible. Perry, how does it feel to win the Dubai World Cup? Wonderful. Perry, how does it feel to lose the Breeders' Cup Classic? Which one? You pick. Terrible. Does anybody see a pattern developing? All right. I'm going to turn, before I go too far, I actually have, since you said we had a lot of time, right? Turf riders, at least 3 articles I read recently said that Denise and I live in Yuba City, California. We haven't lived in Yuba City, California since September of 2014. We moved to the beautiful, picturesque town of Alpine, Wyoming. Every morning I get up, have a cup of coffee, look out my kitchen window, and the elk just look at me out our window, so it's a lovely place. But Yuba City is a special place. People ask me why we left Yuba City. Basically, the answer is because we could. Let me tell you about Yuba City. In 2014, Denise, me, my son Perry Jr., and my daughter Kelly, who's up here, we took the train to Churchill to the Kentucky Derby. People say, why did you take the train? What I do is failure analysis for the Air Force. I did a lot of crash investigation, and every night at the dinner table, I'd tell the family stories about, what goes wrong with planes. So for some reason, my son won't fly. I don't know why that is. But so we took the train, and we were on the train. It's an interesting story. Somebody, one of our coworkers, texted us a message saying, you have to go to this link. There's a story about you that the local news did. The local news, we lived in Yuba City at the time. The local news stations were in Sacramento, California. And a lot of people in Yuba City don't breed and own Kentucky Derby winners or favorites for the Kentucky Derby. I don't know why that is. But this was a unique thing. So they sent a camera crew out. We were on our way to the Derby on the train, and we watched this video. And here's a reporter standing in front of our house interviewing our neighbor. And the first thing I did was I looked at Denise and I said, I knew I should have mowed the lawn. I knew it. But the next thing I said was, they don't seem to be able to separate us from mass murderers, because that's what they do for mass murderers when they send reporters to their house and they interview their neighbors. Well, people who have the favorites for the Kentucky Derby are treated the same way. So they rounded up our neighbor. She came out, and a reporter said, "How does it feel to live next door to the owners of the favorite for the Kentucky Derby?" And she said, "The city of Yuba City Animal Control just cited me for having chickens in my backyard. If I can't have chickens in my backyard, why can these people have a horse? That's what I want to know." So okay. One of them went over, thank you. So Chrome never lived in our backyard. He was at Harris Farms the whole time. But that wasn't enough for the camera crew. They went on their phones, and they found a local hotspot was the Happy Viking bar. And they took the crew to the Happy Viking and interviewed everybody on the bar. Is that music for me to get off?
Hey, I'll just make it quick and tell you that I'm very grateful, and I've been around horses since I was 5 years old, and I'm 54, and I've never been around a horse like California Chrome. And this horse, I love this horse. This horse is some kind of horse. He's so smart, I think he could read. And he's just got it. I mean, this horse, he loves to run. He's what a racehorse is. And so I'm just so thankful for that horse and for Art Sherman and Alan Sherman, that whole team, what they've done. And I want to say something right here that I believe that we've really made a big move in horse racing to make it a lot better. You know, we talk about medication problems, all these things in the business, and there's a lot of problems. But the biggest problem is every time we get a great horse, he goes a stud, and he quits 2 or 3 years early. And that's the problem. And Frank Stronach and Belinda and Sheikh Mohammed, they put up their money, or our money. They put up their money, and and it's changed the whole dynamic of horse racing. You're going to see now, I hate to retire Chrome because he's doing better than he's ever done. And if he were to run and could win these big races this coming year, he'd make $15 million. And when he goes and breeds mares, he's going to make $6 million. And that's a great, great thing, because what's going to happen in the future is you're going to see these horses staying around. You're going to see them in training, and we're going to build our fan base better, and it's going to change the whole dynamics. And I just want to tell you, I'm so appreciative of Frank Stronach and his family for stepping up and making these things happen. I think everybody get up in this room and give him a standing ovation, because he's changed the horse business. Thank you all, and we're very appreciative, and let's have a great race. I hope it's a battle to the wire, and I hope it's just like the first Breeders' Cup Classic, and I hope it's the race I think it's going to be. We're going to have a great time, and I appreciate everything. Thank you all.
Thank you, everyone, and congratulations. This has been an unforgettable night. Congratulations. It's been an honor and a privilege to be your host once again. Thank you for having me for this great walk down memory lane. Heartfelt speeches. And now let's go party. It's post time. We'll see you at Frankie's. Good night, everybody.